Hey guys, how's it going? This is Cody from the What's Up podcast, and this is our first video podcast blog. So, there were some times where we made a mistake. These Canon cameras, I just got this about 2 days ago, and I guess about after 11 minutes or so, they ended up cutting out video. And unbeknownst to us, we didn't know this would happen. And also, there's about segments in the video where about 2 minutes or so is going to be missing, but the audio is still there, still good quality. So if you enjoy it, we hope you do. Please give it a like. It really helps us out. All channels, big and small, it really does. But we really want to keep doing this, and any feedback you guys can give in the comments or email or whatever would be great. So thanks. Bye.
Well, my name is Gavin.
My name's Cody.
Welcome to the first ever video podcast on the What's Up podcast.
Never to be done again, Gavin.
Probably not. No, we'll definitely try this every once in a while. Give you guys a little treat, just a little one.
As I promised, I said that there would be
in the intro.
Yeah, there would be a video. We were doing a YouTube channel.
We're gonna try.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. We got a nice camera.
Got a special deals at Kohl's. Got a Canon.
Out of all the places to get a camera,
I was
at Kohl's.
surprised. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? I was a little surprised because not only did it come with the standard lens, but it came with I think it's 75 millimeter to 300 millimeter zooming lens. So hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Good stuff.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. So anyway, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Cody, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts that I can't get my
Pop filter
to just. So my thoughts, Guardians of the Galaxy
2, Volume
2, not number 2. Man, I didn't know what to expect, but gotta say it's pretty good.
Yeah. You saw the first one, right?
Yeah, you did too.
Yeah. So we did see the first one, Volume 1. I liked the way that the naming scheme, first of all, it might seem like a random thing, but a lot of movies nowadays, like especially Thor, it's like I don't know which one is which anymore because it's like
what?
Thor the Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, and it's like just give me a number. Just give me a number. They did the same thing with iPad where they're like iPad Air, iPad 2. This one is just called iPad. It's like what?
iPad Mini.
It's like oh my goodness.
Oh, what happened?
If you can hear that, that's Cody's dog.
I'm gonna go check real quick if he's not in the cage.
He's a big whiner.
Oh, he's just watching the neighbors be nosy.
Oh.
Come here, buddy. Come on.
Come join the show.
Everyone wants to see you. I got such a brat for a dog.
Come here, James.
Here he is. People, for you listening, go check out the video.
Come here.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Sit down.
Pop a squat. Sit.
Sit. He doesn't like to sit on the couches. There he goes. Oh,
So-
he likes to sit like this.
Yeah, like with his butt on the couch.
I don't think he's in the frame, but he'll put his butt on the couch and his front 2 paws on the ground. It makes him feel like a human.
Weird dog.
Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think I was talking about the naming scheme because a lot of stuff is just like they're like coming out with like weird names instead of just doing numbers. And I'm like, just give me a number. I just want to know.
Well,
Like Iron Man 1, 2, and 3.
but then you don't know like when
Got it.
Thor come. I don't
Got
know.
it in order.
They got like 4 movies going on at once in the same time period.
Yeah, I know. Just give me the
But
numbers.
Guardians
though.
goes. I think it's like, I don't know.
And it works the volumes because it's like the tape that he has. This is the second side of it.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
And then I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing. I won't get into it now because it's kind of a spoil. That's a little bit of a spoiler, not really, because of what.
I think people have to realize that if they're watching this, there's gonna be spoilers.
Well, let's try to do the first half spoiler free. And if we are gonna say something, we'll do spoiler alerts. So the first half spoiler free, guaranteed. Skip to a specific time code that I will edit in later on the video in the podcast. That is here.
Can I do like let's do like blank minutes,
No.
blank seconds.
No. We're not doing that. So everyone's just gonna hear you say blank minutes and blank seconds. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's kind of depressing. I go into movies and I try to not enjoy them. I set my expectations like extremely low. That way, if it's good,
Yeah.
then like it's like way beyond my. It's like blowing my mind how good it is. And this movie. So when I watch a movie, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to think like, what's wrong with this movie? What's wrong with it? What are they doing wrong? And it was hard for the because I was enjoying it too much to like think about what was wrong with it. I was laughing the whole time.
It's just a fun it's like Guardians of the Galaxy does not take themselves seriously whatsoever, so they can have fun. And
yeah, and everything. One thing that I noticed is like everything that they set up had some sort of payoff throughout the movie, because it was like his whole thing. Well, I won't talk about that. Where he's talking about like I never got to play catch with my dad, and like he's always, all the stuff that he talks about with his dad, like even the little things.
Was that a spoiler?
No, it's because that's not even an important part of the movie. But it's like little things like that. They all pay off at the end, and it's nice. Every character gets their own like development arc within the movie. Yeah. Because there's
even Rocket gets one.
Rocket gets one. Baby Groot gets a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Even Blue Dude.
Yondu gets one.
Is that what his name is?
Yep. Gamora gets one.
Everybody
with her sister, and then of course Peter Quill, Star-Lord, gets his. Yeah. And then, well, except what's his face? The guy who takes everything literally.
I don't know.
He's just funny.
Thrax or no?
Drax. He's like a lot more of a prominent character in this movie. Like he just seems to have more personality.
He also like listed a little bit of his problems that he was like when he was like,
yes, yeah,
when he was talking to a girl, which we won't say who yet, but
you get a little more into. Well, it's Mantis. I mean, she's in anything that's in the trailer. I'm not considering a spoiler.
All right.
If it was in the trailer, it's not a spoiler. And that's another thing that I want to say. I watched the trailer and I was like kind of upset because I was like, man, this trailer. I feel like I just saw the whole movie, and it has like. It's so everything that you see happens in like the first like 10 minutes. So it's like nothing like really important is in the trailer at all. I was like, wow, because like the beginning of the movie, I was like, oh, well, that was everything that was in the trailer. Wow, that was fast. And it was just like
Spider-Man Homecoming right here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. I hope that's what happens.
Well, because Gavin was like, dude, you know, they show who Star-Lord's dad is. And I'm like, I didn't even know we were going to see him. He's like, yep. So I ruined it for you. Just like, I'm like, all right.
But it happens like right in the first few seconds. So it works.
Seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
First few seconds. Okay. First like 10 minutes. Anyway.
You want to just go ahead and get to the like, hey, here's the spoiler section. It doesn't have to be halfway.
I
watched a movie like talking about, I think it was Last Jedi or Force Awakens, and they went ahead and did their little 5 minutes, no spoilers, and then the rest of them. I mean, nobody wants. I mean, you guys will see the movie. Pause if you don't.
Go ahead and tell me what you liked about the movie.
What did I? There was a lot to like.
Why did you like it?
I think my favorite part was it had to be, like meeting his dad. Not just meeting his dad as a story development, but also as like it was neat. I guess that's all story. Not like a previous story development, because like you obviously get that satisfaction of finding who his dad was and what he did. But you get so much more. Like you realize that eventually, at first off, he's like, "Oh, I searched the galaxy and found your mom." But then you also realize he tried to make a ton of kids with a ton of different.
So offspring. We're in spoilers now, and Cody didn't warn anyone.
I thought we just had like a 2-minute discussion about.
No, you were like talking about it, and I said, "Well, first let's talk about this." I said, "First talk about what you like about the movie," and you just started explaining like.
Go ahead and edit this part in. Spoilers ahead.
Okay, there we go.
So, I mean, and it was neat. It was kind of a funky story element to say how he was just born of the universe, a brain. I mean, that's kind of where I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a little bit comedic, comical, because like that's not.
Well, that's not even Guardians. That's like the Marvel universe, because they do that with like a lot of like.
Oh, really?
There's like several like god characters that are like.
Oh, okay.
And DC has like the same thing where there's like, you think like the most powerful in DC might be like Darkseid or someone, and the most powerful Marvel character might be someone like Thanos. Mm-hmm. But like there's like
more.
There's like the person who is like god of that universe that's like created from like nothing or whatever, and is like just like crazy powerful, and of course they end up like.
Dude, I will say what was really neat was like he wasn't a person, he became a planet. That was interesting. And then like he used his energy to create a personification of a man. Which,
just so he could live life and not be bored.
That was so neat. And like I thought it like I know Guardians isn't like a real like super psychological or psychological
doesn't
movie,
make you think.
But it was kind of neat because he was like don't you ever get bored? And he was like, yeah, so I had to find my purpose. And that was kind of interesting how he wanted to like spread his seed. Like
it was something that like a person would do. Like he felt like a person, and not just like someone who was like, well, the script told me to do this, so that's why I'm doing it. But he had like things that he wanted to do and like motivations and stuff.
So that was neat. And then it was, I mean, obviously to go into the like visually, we're in an age where everything is amazing, but it was neat to go through the center of his Earth and like see all the different, levels of it, even his brain. That was just neat. But I have to say that was probably a lot of it was awesome, but probably my favorite part was meeting his dad and seeing those like touchy moments of like what he did for millions of years. Because it's like he didn't necessarily act humble, but it was kind of neat to see like this dude who had like the ability to literally create whatever in his hand could be so chill about it at the same time, I guess. Yeah. Maybe not.
We're gonna go. I want to check and see if the camera's still recording.
All right.
We'll jump cut.
I don't know.
Not even that long. Like 10 minutes. Okay. That's not how jump cuts work, Cody. There's no sound effect. It just kind of happens. But yeah, and that was that's something else that reminds me of another payoff in the movie is like with the beginning, all the golden people or whatever, which I love them. They were so awesome. Like Rocket steals from them. And so, like, the whole movie, even though there's all this other stuff going on, they're like, no, we need to get our stuff back and, like, show people it's not okay to steal from us.
Let it go.
But, like, that's their whole thing because they're, like, perfect. So it's like...
Oh, whatever.
Well, they're as close to perfection as they tried to get. So, like, they're all gold. They don't, like, procreate at all. They just, like, grow people in test tubes only and just, like...
Except for that old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned yeah. But I loved the arcade machine flying things, and there was like everyone was crowding around the guy who was like, "Oh, it's crowding around him like he's about to get a high score, but he's like trying to kill people." And it's like that's another thing. Like they killed a lot of people in this movie. Rocket killed like a bunch of people.
What's this?
Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu.
Yondu killed.
Was so. That was another. See that would have been a close tie. Was that scene because he was just so. Into it. He
was awesome. Yondu was so cool. That's another thing that pay off that I didn't want to talk about in spoiler free is they were like, you'll never have the lights of the whatever federation they were a part of at your funeral. Like he just kind of Sylvester Stallone just kind of throws that out there for a second, and then at the end they all show up, and it was really like good. It's like, oh yeah, and it was good because it's like. There was actually an emotional attachment to Yondu. It wasn't just like, oh, hey, this is a thing that happens because you're supposed to feel about this character. But like, the director did a really good job of making every character feel like a person and making you care about them.
Well, like I know, like especially with character development on him, it's like it was okay. I'll get back to that in just a second. But it was neat to see the transition from a person you didn't really care for before, but you knew about.
Yeah.
To someone that you actually really do care about because you understand why he did what he did. Because in the past, that character development, I guess, is that you know all about who he was, what he did, and now you have a completely different story. Learning that he was trying to protect Peter from, obviously his goddad.
His goddad?
And father. And so that was neat to see, like, there's a new character development where you can focus more, like, not on the person's past, but, like, completely about just the here and now.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, that was cool. Because it was, like...
And then he got
especially,
all emotional with
like
Rocket.
You were saying, from the last movie, it's like, you, like, hated that guy in the last movie because it was like, oh, my God, this guy is, like...
I didn't hate him, but, like...
But, I mean,
like, he wasn't Fast and Furious blonde girl.
Yeah, he was definitely a villain, though. Like, you could... Because it was, like... He's got the stupid laser arrow. Like, how are you supposed to fight that?
Yeah.
Like... This is ridiculous, and he keeps just like trying to take advantage of Star-Lord, and then it's like, okay, I understand why, and he's like, and he really connects with Rocket because they both have the same personality type, and like, they do like the whole like, oh, we're a family thing, and we always come back, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel corny.
I got family.
Yeah, I didn't feel like, no, you're supposed to care because they're family, but you actually like felt it because like there's still like. they still don't feel like they all like each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they all fight. Oh, yeah, the camera just died.
It did?
Yeah.
It did? How? Is it recording still?
Well, it is now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I remember our cannons used to do that at school. They would just, like, turn off for no reason in the middle of it. No, it was some weird thing that cannons did. I don't remember what we did to fix it. Well, we'll Google it. But anyway, they felt like a family because they still, like, fight with each other and stuff. And, like, they don't always get along. And, of course, like, they even, like, address it like it's, like, a self-aware thing where, like, Star-Lord was talking to Gamora and he was like, oh, there's that unspoken thing, like,
oh, yeah.
like in Cheers. Is that what he kept referring to?
Probably.
Cheers or something.
I don't know what
and she's
Cheers
like,
is.
I don't know what I was cracking. That was so funny because it was like, you expect her to get mad at him emotionally for the situation that they're in, and she was just like, I don't know what that show is. Like, the one thing that she's most sick of is like, stop making all these pop culture references to stuff
Which
that only applies on Earth.
Which, by the way, we should reenact something that was one of the coolest scenes, where he's he's falling down.
Oh yes, when
like,
Yondu's coming down with his arrow.
You look like Mary Poppins.
Is he cool?
Yeah, he is.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That was the best.
And if you follow us on Twitter, like I know nobody does, you would.
Oh, we got followers.
Yeah. Well,
son.
But you didn't drop any likes, guys. You're hurting our
Yeah,
feelings. But that was so cool to see.
No one's liking our pictures.
The actor held up a big. He held
He
up a book of Mary
had the
Poppins.
Mary Poppins book and he took a selfie with it.
So funny.
It was pretty cute. It's pretty cute. But yeah, great movie. One of the things that made it great, I keep talking about how they felt like people and not just like well, the script told me to do this, so I'm going to do this now, and it doesn't like make any sense. Like a lot of movies do that. Rogue One does that for all of its characters because it's a terrible movie. But the same person who was the screenwriter for this film was also the director. So if you wait ever and actually look at the credits for writers, you'll see a list of like 20 people because there's a team of people that are all hired by the production company who come in and are like, market research shows that people don't like it when aliens are yellow, so don't have any aliens. And it's like, why? Like, leave me alone. Like,
Yeah.
let me. And it's like, well, market research shows that. And it's like, look, don't tell me what market research shows. And you got like 15 guys that are like, well, we got a sponsor. We need to put them in here. We're gonna need to put them in here and do this and do this. And like, there was only one sponsor for Guardians of the Galaxy. It was Dairy Queen. It was very obvious. It was the only time I laughed at the movie because there's this scene at the beginning where they just show a shot of just Dairy Queen and that's it. It's not even an establishing shot to go inside the Dairy Queen. They're just driving, they cut to a Dairy Queen, they show it for 10 seconds, and they come back to the characters. I just laughed because I've like eaten like 5 of those Guardians of the Galaxy Blizzards and I'm like, yep, I know that they're paying out the butt for these things, and then they go back to it.
Well,
so
even the I don't know if you've seen this or I think it might have been on YouTube, but the dude was like talking about a little bit behind the scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was like, yeah, I just had to choose Dairy Queen because I remember back in the day in the 70s, that's the place I went. And I was like, all right, man, sure, whatever.
That's cool. And because I mean, kudos to him for like making a movie about space but somehow still getting Dairy Queen in there.
Well, like it's so weird because like, I mean, obviously in real life, we have no idea what's out there. But in this world, in this movie, you realize that there's so much more than Earth. So it's so funny to like see all this crazy stuff happen and then go to humble old Earth in the 70s and just
see a Dairy Queen.
And then like whatever the god is, God driving the car or whatever car that was with his
mom.
With his mom.
Peter's mom.
I don't know names.
I don't remember his name. I think he just called her mom.
But it's just... that's so funny because it's like they come back to Earth and everything's just all like...
And then it's like a little small town. Like everything's still the same. Dairy Queen's
like,
still there.
Do you realize there is like planets that are shops out there?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's just funny.
And that also, that's another scene I love where they're like I love how they do the space travel where it's like you can jump, but there's only like specific jumps that you can make. It's not just like, oh, we just hit light speed and we go wherever we want. But there's these jumps and there's like rules to it. Like you can only make this many jumps without it like jacking you up. And Rocket's like, I don't care. I need to get here now. And they're like, it's only good for us to do 7 jumps. And he's like, yeah.
They do like 400?
They did like 190 or something, or like 700
God.
or something crazy. Just like little things.
Well,
it's
it
like,
was so
it didn't
goofy.
need to be in the movie,
No.
but it was so funny, and it doesn't hurt the movie in any way. It's just like,
And what was so goofy
I
is
love
like they were like, it's gonna hurt your health, but it didn't affect them.
yeah, it's like one of those little things where it's like it would be a nuisance to make that a part of the plot, but it doesn't hurt that it's just a funny part of the plot. Like it's like, hey, why aren't they sick? No one's gonna ask that
Well,
question.
like they were sick for like 10 seconds. So
yeah,
whatever.
no one's gonna be like, shouldn't they be dead? That's dumb. They're just they're
It's
gonna
a
laugh and
sci-fi
get over
movie,
it.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a great movie.
Highly recommend.
Highly.
But I don't know I don't know what more to talk about, but I will say what's gonna be like they didn't really touch too much about like the Infinity Stones or anything like that.
That's what I do want to talk about is
meshing.
there's I don't want this universe to mesh because it's gonna get ruined though.
It is, man.
I know, but I don't want it to because like as soon as he has to like bring it in, that's when the whole Marvel creative team is gonna come in and tell him how to write his characters, and it's not gonna be good, and they're just gonna be weird and awkward in how they interact. But I don't know. At this point,
they do
I
they
hope
do a pretty good job.
They haven't done it yet with these characters. These characters, you have to agree, these characters are better than any other Marvel characters that are out there.
Oh, I completely agree.
No
But
one,
they
no
don't
one
take
else has
themselves
written it.
seriously though. Like there's
Yeah.
comedy in the Avengers, but not nearly as. And so I mean, I think if we realize it, you would expect hopefully that they would
They don't-
realize it because they're like
Hollywood doesn't care
it's
though.
this is a very fragile thing. But Marvel realizes they're on the top with this. But they don't care.
They want money, Cody. That's what drives the. That's the problem.
How are you gonna get more money? Focusing on what
But
to
they
do
don't-
properly.
That's not what they look at though. That's what I'm saying. They look at what does market research show, and they're like, well, the big action scenes. They like it when Spider-Man shows up out of nowhere. So let's put Spider-Man in the movie. Oh, everyone likes Iron Man the best. Let's put him in the Spider-Man movie.
What's gonna be weird though, like the Guardians can go out in space and they're all ready for space, but like Avengers, not really so much. They're always on Earth or
It'll have to be with Thor somehow because he's
yeah,
traveling everywhere.
We'll see, oh, and
we'll see what
there's
happens.
A Thor movie,
Yeah, it's basically just Planet Hulk, I guess.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. If you guys want to see Thor Ragnarok early, go watch Planet Hulk. It's an animated movie with the same storyline.
You know what I don't like? Like they used to do like original music, but now they're just like tossing in like old hit songs.
Because market research shows that everyone likes it in Guardians of the Galaxy when they played old
That's
songs.
different.
But they don't get that, Cody. They don't care about people, they care about money. That's why sequels suck.
Dude, when we become movie producers, we're never doing this.
We're not going to become movie producers.
You guys make this happen.
Yeah, go to our Kickstarter.com.
$1 million, please.
Link in the description for us to make a movie with 0 copyright infringement.
This camera's gonna make our movie.
This Canon E60, I don't know what it is,
I don't know, man.
but pretty much that's why sequels suck so much. It's because they go, well, what was so good about the first movie? And they don't think about the characters. They don't think about the writing. They're just like, when we go out on the street and we ask people, hey, what did you like? They're like, find the dumbest people they can find. And they're like, I liked it when Iron Man punched a guy. And they're like, okay, we'll put more Iron Man punching in this movie.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. What did you like? I liked Iron Man suit. More Iron Man suits. Give them 50. We'll put 50 Iron Man suits in the movie.
Did you appreciate the connections with all the characters?
I don't know what that means, but I liked it when he almost kissed Pepper Pot. Okay, more of that.
All right.
Let's get more of
Too
this
much.
garbage. Oh, this actress doesn't want to come back to this movie. Weird. Okay, I don't know how
New
to work that
person
out.
altogether.
Oh, we can't get Cuba Gooding Jr. Too much money. Place him with 90-year-old Don Cheadle. People can't tell the difference between black guys anyway.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I know, but that was a joke on racism.
Now I'm uncomfortable.
I'm not. I'm black.
So does that mean
I mean, if you're uncomfortable, you need to do some self-reflection there, buddy. I don't know why you're uncomfortable. That's just how Hollywood thinks.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing a character. Anyway, that's why sequels suck.
Yeah.
They just want money. They don't care about you or you. They just want, or your dog. They want his money too. They want all of it.
Pupper clothes.
Pupper bucks.
Pupper bucks.
I don't know. Where are we talking about?
I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess. Yeah, I mean, well, what's to say? I mean, I loved it.
I know it's hard to talk about a movie when everything was good.
Mm-hmm. There really was. I mean, I don't think there really was.
I will talk about the two things I disliked. The two very things. And then one thing that was just weird, the whole movie took place in 2014.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. Because they were like 1984.
Well, I tell you what, it's like
30 years later. It was like, wait, why?
Because the original movie was in the exact same time period as when it came out, like 2013, and so they kind of like instantly picked up where they left off because they were let's go fight some bad guys.
I guess.
Oh well.
I love the whole beginning. People are gonna hate me for this. I don't like Baby Groot that much.
I hate you.
Yeah, he's adorable. I think he's adorable, but I
don't think they overdid him though.
Oh, I think maybe they didn't overdo him in the movie, but I think it was the effect of like seeing him everywhere. He's like the Minions, where they're just like, look at the cutest thing that we ever made, and it was like, okay, I get it.
I get like,
and then they did the whole like 20-minute scene where he was like trying to get the fin for Yondu on his head or whatever, and he like kept grabbing the wrong thing, and it was like, ha 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 ha. Okay, get the right thing, dude. You're right there. Get it. But that has a payoff. And then the one other thing that I had just like a little bitty problem with was I felt like the conversation between Rocket and Yondu was forced. Because they'd just be like locked up in a jail cell and they're like, well, this sucks. And Yondu's like, I'm super insecure about my feelings. And Rocket's like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, wait, where did that come from?
It might be because he thought he was going to die later.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like almost natural, but it's just like a little bit forced, and it's like, it's not like I don't care.
I think
that's me literally trying as hard as I possibly can to find something negative to say about the movie, because even then it's like it works and it has a payoff at the end.
You want to do like a thing where we say, would you rate this movie or nah?
Well, I still have a couple things I want to talk about.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because the end credits, there's like, they don't really do like an end credit thing. There's like 5 or 6 like
little skits,
medium little skits that all set up for something. So you have the golden people, and she's like completely disheveled. Wait,
I know something else you hate. That duck.
God, I hate Howard the Duck. I hate Howard the Duck so much. Get him out of here. Get him out of this trash. I don't know if James Gunn has like a secret love for Howard the Duck or what's going on. Get that duck out of these movies. For the love of God, if we somehow get a Howard Duck movie because of this garbage, I'm going to go insane.
I thought you were gonna be like, go inside Marvel Studios, and I'm like, no, you're not.
I might show up.
Shoot up the place.
But like, James Gunn, where are you? No more Howard the Duck. That crap was weird. No one wants to see that. I don't know, Cody. I gotta show you Howard the Duck.
I went home and seen it.
You watched it? You know how weird it is. Then
I agree.
It's weird as heck. And they're just like casually like, don't we all love and remember Howard the Duck? No one loves Howard the Duck. We're trying to forget that scar of a movie. Jeez. Anyway, let's get back to the end credits. So the Golden Girl is sitting there and she's like completely disheveled.
Oh my
which
God.
I love the imagery behind it because they're like supposed to be all perfect and she's just like going insane.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I think I finally found the next step to our evolution. So it's like, oh well, there's a payoff there. Like we don't know what's gonna, or there's a setup there. We don't know what's gonna happen. And then Sylvester Stallone gets together with the other three.
Get it? Is it recording? Yeah. The other three.
And then Sylvester Stallone gets together with the other 3 members of like whatever their group was called. I can't remember, like the Federation or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, maybe it's time to get the old gang back together. And it was like, well, yeah, like of course you're gonna have Sylvester. Like you can't have Sylvester Stallone as a side character, so like that works out well.
Mm-hmm.
And it works because they come back for like Yondu or whatever. James, what are you doing?
Got a distraction here with the dog.
He just walked into a corner. Now he's backing out. Now he's leaving.
Bye.
He walked into a corner that was so tight he couldn't even turn around.
But in that scene, she was like, "We will call him Adam," and you looked at me and you're like, "What did you say?" You're like, "I don't know what to feel about that." Like, what's that supposed to?
Yeah,
like,
what's that supposed to mean?
That means nothing to me. I think is what you said. I'm like,
yeah,
I know, dude. Like, I don't know.
I think it's
funny.
Adam and Eve imagery or something, like a new generation. I don't know. But there's that with the. I think there was another one too.
There was a Stan Lee one that was kind of just like short and quick.
No, yeah, there was that. But I could have swore there was like
another Howard the Duck, and then
at the end.
Yeah, didn't wasn't he like sitting like this drinking something, and then he's like cheers or something. I don't know.
Something stupid. Howard the Duck is the worst character. Worse than Jen Erso. And she's terrible.
Gosh. So
pretty bad. So out of 10, Cody.
Oh, we are doing this.
Let's do it.
I'd give this a solid 10. No joke. I know some people want to be like, no movie's perfect, and it's not, but it's definitely not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's so good that any little imperfection, I don't even care about. I'd watch this movie over.
Yeah, I would watch it again too. I think our friend Mike wants to go see it again. So Mike Pretty.
Oh yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, what's up? He might be on the podcast later too. He was telling me today. He was like, "Man, I love movies. You ever watch movies? Let's do it." I was like, "All right, man."
There we go.
He doesn't know about the podcast though, so we'll see what's up with that. One thing I want to do, we'll completely cut this out if it doesn't turn out well at all. I want to go on Rotten Tomatoes and I want to find the worst reviews of this movie and see what someone has to say. I'm hoping we find some DC fanboys who just like really don't want to like this movie.
While you're looking it up, me and Gavin had a discussion about this, and basically he made me realize that DC fanboys will come on and be like, this movie was so bad because there was not enough Batman in it. Stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, they say like really, they're just like, well, DC is what the this movie has a 67% on Metacritic.
Really?
You've got to be kidding me. These guys are.
I think people.
Let's go to Metacritic and see what they have to say.
I think people today are just mentally ill. Is the problem?
User score 8.1, 67 based on 47 critics.
Find anything good yet?
Positive 32, mixed 14, negative 1. Can I find then one negative review?
So there's only one negative.
Yeah, Washington Post gave it 100.
Ooh.
USA Today gave it an 88.
Ooh.
Telegraph gave it an 80. Variety gave it a 70. The Verge gave it a 65.
Wait, where's Huffington Post? Because aren't they the people that messed up PewDiePie?
They messed up all of YouTube.
Wait, what did Huffington Post say?
Did I say the first one?
Nothing. That was
no,
Washington Post, right?
They're not on here.
Okay.
Well, they might be more like a total.
All right, man. Where's the juicy stuff?
Well, anyway, the Seattle Times gave it a 38. So let's see.
Shut up, Seattle.
What? They give it a 1.5 out of 4.
Please
yes, the toddler tree is the single righteously funny thing in the picture.
Oh, you got
Everything else is noisy, CG, excess, and no fun at all. No fun. Oh.
What is fun to you? Like.
Okay, let's see. It goes wrong right away, straight out of the box. It serves up a digitally youngified Kurt Russell grinning along. Okay, so they're talking about like the very beginning of the movie. The wimpiest pop tunes in the 1970s. Not a good sign. It pays off. Like, okay.
What do you expect?
The song has a purpose. Like, it pays off at the end because he's like, the sailor in the sea. Like, we have to go back to the sea. That's our calling, blah, blah, blah. Like, they didn't just pick a song because it was like, oh, we don't have the budget for a good song. Like, he made the song part of the movie. It wasn't just a soundtrack. They're like going just by the first scene. The scene is supposed to set up a backstory.
There's got to be that one guy that like doesn't like the movie and has to pick,
What?
it has to pick some.
Madame Tussauds House of Waxwork is distractingly creepy. What are you talking about?
What waxwork?
but the sight of old or young Kurt looking like a fugitive. So they're saying that they youngified Kurt Russell a little bit for that scene at the beginning, and they say it's like distracting, but it's not. So this is the Seattle Times. So it's someone in Washington smoking weed and not understanding what they're looking at. Sorry, I have really bad allergies right now.
If we have any Seattle fans, we don't recommend going up to them. And
we don't recommend you living in Seattle. Only terrible people live there.
Take your good coffee and leave.
Except Humongous. Shoutouts to Humongous. You're a G. Star-Lord Quill, green-hued Gamora, blah, 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 are doing better. Yes, that's what happens at the beginning. This is not an article. This is just a...
Go back to Rotten Tomatoes.
The back being flung hither and yon, while in the foreground is the big eye. You're just describing it. What's bad about it?
Nothing.
They're saying that young Groot is the only funny thing.
That's not right. That's like...
Everything else is noisy CG excess. In this one, everyone...
Something I have to say to you is you're annoying CG excess.
In this one, this is literally a sentence. Everyone but everyone has issues. What does that even mean? Everyone but everyone.
How did your opinion get so popular?
Father-son issues. Well, yeah. What do you want everyone to get along and be happy and just have a movie where everything goes well? That's boring as heck.
Like I said, there's just gotta be that one dude in
Everyone
the back.
gets an arc. And that's what they're... Everyone gets character development. Ugh. I hate that.
I hate a good movie.
I hate character development. It's the worst. Can I just watch Rogue One where everyone dies and no one gets developed?
That's my favorite movie. Rogue One was the pinnacle of film.
Gun salts the soundtrack with blah 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 blah.
So you're hopping
blah.
down.
It's all, but all it does is contribute to the clutter of this overly busy and overlong sequel. It's not even.
You guys are so like I don't even think you don't realize how wrong you are. You're just picking something.
It's hipsters. That's where all the hipsters live, is in Seattle. That's all they're doing.
They're just like saying. I don't even think they've seen the movie, and even if they did, they're just picking stuff that didn't even exist.
User reviews: 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8.77, 0.
Whoa!
A nasty, mean-spirited retread of what made the original great. What are you talking about?
What?
Takes everything you loved about the original and turns it up to 11, completely destroying the charm. What are you talking about?
Isn't that what you want?
Watching Gamora is as interesting as watching paint dry. What are you talking about? Rocket Raccoon is completely devoid of wit. Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt. Horrible, cheap-looking CGI. Yeah.
Are you serious?
That's somebody who hates every movie. That's someone who's like, CGI makes every movie bad. It looks so fake. It's like, well, yeah. It's not going to look real, you idiot. It's CGI.
This makes me mad. We should stop.
Hold on, let's actually go to Rotten Tomatoes, because that wasn't even Rotten Tomatoes.
This episode is brought to you by
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington. For all your terrible movie reviews, please visit seattlewashington.com/I
hate my life. I want to move to Seattle.
.com.
Goodness.
Jeffafa.
If I could use my phone and talk at the same time, that would be awesome. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
We should be like one of those professionals that just has a laptop right here.
Yeah, on a couch. Rotten Tomatoes. 81%. Let's go. Audience score 90. That's what I'm talking about. First time I've been pleased with Rotten Tomatoes.
So what you got?
Let's see. Where are the reviews? They have changed this website. Okay, here we go.
I'm sorry for people on the audio.
Here's a top critic. Let's hope that Volume 3 recaptures the fizz of the original instead of slumping into the most expensive group therapy session in the universe. God, I hate character development. Ugh. Why do my favorite characters have to have problems and then solve them? Ugh. Peter, near the end of the movie, he literally starts off the review with, at the end of the movie, Peter distracted the villain who had evil designs upon all the creation by dancing at him.
I mean his dad.
This is a moment to be thankful for. At last you felt someone at Marvel was starting to heed the wise words of Vladimir. No, but what are you talking about? The difference,
Dude, like Vladimir Putin?
Vladimir Nabokov.
Oh.
The difference between the comic side of things and the cosmic side depends upon one's sibilant. For the makers of superhero films, it's not enough to toss in a few sprinkles of light relief. The true challenge is to remind your audience that the very idea of saving the world, blah, 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 blah,
Okay,
blah.
this is dumb.
What are you even talking about, man?
So there's just people that don't know what they're talking about, basically.
They just want to, like, not... They grew...
It's like they have to... It's like they're not fans, but they have to watch it for their job, and they're just like...
They're that guy that grew up in school and they were like always reading a book and they never wanted to like watch sports. And people are like, "Hey, you see the game last night?" And they wwere like, "Sports are so dumb. You should feel bad for liking sports and stuff. And I'm better because I'm reading a book." Not to say that there's because when I was in school, I read books all the time in class. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with reading books. I'm just saying if you're that guy who hates stuff just because you don't do it, can't do it, and don't understand it, then like chill out, dude. Don't grow up to write for the New Yorker and feel like you know stuff.
Thanks, nerd.
He's been a film critic since 1993. Wow.
All right, well, I think that's enough of that, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right.
That's probably enough of that. Well,
guys, I give this... What would you give it? I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10. I'll say my 10 out of 10 for Star Wars films.
Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last film I ever gave a 10 out of 10 was Episode 7.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We
I
are
love
not
that movie.
sponsored by Marvel nor Guardians of the Galaxy, but we would highly recommend watching this with you and your family.
Yes, I would go watch it like 3 times. It's so good.
Holy cow.
It's so good.
Or just watch it once and pay attention.
Or watch it once. Do whatever you want. It's so good.
It's not, I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not like $60
3
good.
times. Wait for the dollar theater. Go see it again.
So,
You know what movie I did see 3 times in theaters? Very shamefully. I'm not proud to admit this. Alice in Wonderland.
really? I didn't even watch it once. I need
I
to
don't
watch
know.
it.
We were just like, want to go to the movies? And it was like the only movie. So we were like, oh, let's go watch it again. It's not that bad. And we ended up seeing it like 3 times. I don't know why. That one and Chronicle. I saw Chronicle like 5 times at theaters. We started counting how many times I said Andrew.
I don't know if it's, I just don't like, I mean, if I gotta be in the mood to watch a movie over and over.
You ever see Chronicle?
No.
We're going to watch Chronicle. We're going to review Chronicle. That movie is the bomb.
There was a I don't know if you want to mention this or not, but like we try to be really social with our podcast on Twitter and follow for follow. And Gavin found an interesting podcast that basically they had a great idea about.
Yeah, they're called Afterthoughts.
If you guys
I mean, go ahead and go check them out.
We don't want to steal their show, but it's a neat idea for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to do this before I listened to their show, and then I heard it, and I was like, so it is a thing. It's a good idea.
I don't think it's stealing because
It's not stealing. I thought of it before.
Don't be the Fine Brothers, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, shout outs to them. But not the Fine Brothers. Afterthoughts. Screw the Fine Brothers. But
basically,
we want to watch before we did the Star Wars review. What we want to do for the next ones is talk about our thoughts from just memory of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the movie. And then talk about them again.
That way it's unique because it's Star Wars related.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to do that for Star Wars films.
Okay. Well, guys, this was something new. And if you're listening on the podcast only, please check us out on YouTube. I'll have to definitely.
Yeah, come see Cody's dog.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's in the shot, but
depending on how popular we get, I definitely want to try to do like an Instagram. We don't want to be one of those podcasts without a face. We love making videos, and now we got the means to do so. So we'll see what happens. I think it's it's just called What's Up. Check us out on Twitter first because that way we can give you a link.
What's our YouTube channel called?
There's a million What's Ups on YouTube, so I'll provide a link on Twitter.
We might change it to the What's Up podcast or
Maybe,
the What's Up
like
vodcast.
What
or something.
sucks is you can't change the name once you make it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing on it, so we'll delete it. You'll see it on the channel it's on when you watch this video. We'll have decided something by then.
But if you guys could really check us out, that would be great.
Yeah, so check us out on Twitter. We're the What's Up Pod. No, we're just What's Up Pod on Twitter.
Thinking about making an Instagram, so we'll see about that.
Check us out on Podbean. Just search What's Up or podbean.whatsuppodcast.com.
And recommend us to your friends if you want. It would really help us out, guys.
And the thing that helps the most is ratings on iTunes. iTunes is the most popular podcatcher. So if you could just take like a second to give us a rating and leave a comment, it really helps us stay up on the charts. So we'd really appreciate that. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.